Welcome to the Let's Talk with Paula show where we talk about interesting topics. And this is the very first show that I had when I came here. I was cutting myself short. Me and George talked about it the other day. I've probably been here about 18, 19 years. And
Okay.
I didn't go back, and we went back and talked about it. And I do that about a lot of things. I think I try to do it even about my birthday, okay? So I cheat myself. But I think I've been here for about 18, 19 years, and this was the very first show that we did. And then we went around. They don't have it anymore. It was like where City Hall used to be. We did
Okay.
shows around there. And then Tom and Mark and Jim would give me ideas to do shows, okay? Jim and I think Mark, was it Jim and Mark? They had like these skeletons during holidays, and they had these skeletons and stuff, and they would bring them out, you know, and stuff like that. Because I know I was the only crazy person that would say, okay, you know. But we had a rap session that we did, a rap off around
Were
there.
you rapping?
Now, you know I wasn't rapping. I was
Okay.
just the MC, okay?
Okay.
We had a wrap off that was around there. I'm so sad, that room around there, I'm sad that they took where the city chamber people used to sit and talk and stuff because
Okay.
because it was really set up that if you wanted to do anything, if we wanted to do a talk show, you had places for people to sit on. If we wanted to do a pageant, we could have one. They had, you know, different places that you had that was in there that you could do a lot of things with that room. And I was so sad when they broke that room down. Now they used to get upset because they wouldn't upgrade that equipment around there, you know, for the city council. So it was like we would do it around there, and then we would have to come around there and do something. It was more work, right? But I don't understand why the city did not upgrade the cameras so that we could have both places, you know, because at the time we didn't have a green set.
Okay.
So it really didn't matter. But they would give me suggestions all the time when I first started. I only had the one show with Let's Talk with Paula, and it was like, I was gamed. And we had all kinds of people that came on here at that particular time. So this is my heart show right here, Let's Talk with Paula. So now, you know, we've come a long way. Now we have a green set, and we can be anywhere we want to be, you know. We don't have to be sitting here, you know. And technology has even done that with our telephones, okay?
I know.
So the AI, oh my God. Now we were doing STEM, and now they have a whole segment for students with AI.
Okay.
Okay, that's doing technology to make sure that it's safe, you know, and things like that. But I started this off, and I don't believe I introduced you, Donald, because I just know that people just know who you are, okay? But introduce yourself, because that's 101. I messed up again. 101 is introduce your guest in the first 2 minutes of the show, okay? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, good evening. And my name is Donald Bell. I'm an attorney here in Maryland. I'm located here in Prince George's County. My office is in Greenbelt. And I'm happy to be back here on the show. Thank you for inviting me into your homes. And Paula, thank you for having me back on the show, inviting me back on the show again. It's always a pleasure to be here. And I know you're going to have some interesting topics for us to discuss this evening.
And it's always a joy to have you here, because like I said, you've been with us through thick and thin, and you know, you weren't around when we were in the other room, but I'm just talking about since we had the green set, you have been here with us every step. Even doing, like we always say, doing Skype, helping the studio to do Skype, and you was at one place and I was someplace else, and we tested it out and it worked. And I was able to use some other people after that, you know.
That's great.
But, you know, it's been a long ride, and it's what keeps me alive, if you want to know the truth. Because when you stop working, mental health kicks in. And you don't realize how much mental health kicks in until you have to live it for yourself.
Okay.
Okay?
What is it? The fact that you don't feel like there's purpose, or you're not around people, or
Not being around people, you know,
Okay.
because I've always been around people.
Okay.
And I've always mingled with people. I've always done things. Like I said, I take my hat to Terrence now. I look at me, Terrence, as being a young me. You know, you be a go-getter and you go do things. And I'm still in physical therapy. My doctor took me off, you know, some other things going on. So when I come in here, because I'm around other people, not just my family. I love my family. My family takes care of me, and they make sure that I'm fine. So I love you kids, okay? I love you sisters, aunts, and mom, you know, everybody, cousins, nieces, and nephews. But it's nothing like being around people other than your family and knowing that you have good relationships and good rapport with them, you know, and you have somebody you can talk to.
Yeah.
My son got me another dog. My dog died that I had for 88
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
years.
that.
Yeah, Bear died. Yeah, the day before my birthday, last year.
Wow.
And I had him. He was 88 dog years. He was a chow, CHOW, chow. And he didn't bark, but he was like one of those dogs that they had in the palaces, you know, when the king was away.
Yeah.
So they didn't bark, but they would eat you up.
Yeah.
Okay, like sometimes it would be funny. Paul and I might be talking, and his voice just gets a little heavier than what it normally might get. But he'll come right in the room, and he would just lay right down in between both of us, wouldn't say a word.
Oh, he's watching.
Lay us down, and both of us fed him right. So that's what I have to laugh. And he would say, I said, I think you need to kind of lower your tone a little bit.
That's funny.
I said, because he's sitting here, and I think he's trying to figure out, who am I going to bite? I'm supposed to protect her because she's the female of the house. But you feed me, too, and take me for walks.
Yeah.
Now, who am I going to bite? I said, I'm going to tell you, if you want to bet on it, Paul, you going to get bit. So I suggested you, because it's in his DNA, okay?
I don't know. Paul may have been bribing him with some good treats.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was really sad. It was really a sad day. And, you know, I have a picture. They made me for my birthday a picture out of cloth with him playing in the snow out back.
Oh, wow.
And he looks right at the camera. You know, after he's been digging down in the snow, throwing it with his nose. You see that he has snow's on his nose, and he looks up, and I caught him right then. And I didn't even know they had that picture, and they made it out of a framed picture out of cloth. I have it. You know where I have it? As you go out my door.
Okay.
So he's a protector of the house. It's like, you know, when you come in, you see him. When you go out, you see him. You know, Paul bought me another dog.
Okay.
I thought we had both agreed that we were never going to have another dog again, right? And I know that we have a lot of dog lovers. We even did a dog show. Mark had bought the service dogs.
I remember you told me about that.
And that was very informative for people that love dogs and to know how the service dogs really work, you know. And he bought me a teacup Yorkie. Well, he didn't buy it. A friend of his gave it to him because her boyfriend had left. Dog is smart as a whip. And he came in and with him in the house, and he said, this is for you dog lovers out there. He said, well, Mom, I'll just bring the dog in the house for 3 days and see how he's going to act. If he acts all right, you know, then maybe we might keep him, but it's my dog, right? I said, remember you said that. Okay, because I'm not, when we were offered another dog, you know, you said no more dogs, right? Because it's a child.
Yeah.
People don't realize that dogs are like children. You know, you can't go places. You got to make sure that, you know, you got a babysitter, you got to walk them, you got to feed them. You know what I mean? And when they get sick, they got to go to the doctors. They got bills. They're not a child, but you can't take them off on your taxes.
Yeah.
That's a bill that dog lovers out there need to try to get it. They got pet insurance now, okay, which I'm glad, right? But we need to try to make it so we can make them as dependents, because they cost as much as a child or an old person when they get old, you know? So guys, that's just a thought for you. That's why I'm saying this today. It's a thought to try to see if we can talk to these council people, or we can talk to, you know, the governor or somebody, whoever we need to talk to, and the senators, whomever, and they try to see if they can get people to have dogs, because if they registered like they're supposed to, you understand, you have to pay to register, and you get the shots done, and that way you can make sure the dogs have their shots done, and then we won't be seeing all these sad commercials on television, okay, with the dogs being outside and they, you know, use them as, you know, with these heavy chains on and to box them and stuff like that, and they don't have nowhere to live. You know, that hurts my heart. You know, because they are like our children, and people that abandon them. I was at the city council last week, and they were talking about what they did with the cats. See, they do a lot to make sure that the cat community, I didn't realize it grew too much. And at the city council last week, they had a gentleman that came and did a presentation about, you know, how they try to keep the community in Bowie. They try to keep the cats, you know, at a minimum.
Okay.
I'm talking about stray cats.
Stray cats.
Well, I think that they need to do something with the dogs too, you know. And we don't have that many stray dogs in Bowie. But I'm just saying that you don't know who died and the dog just got left in the house. But somebody will call about a cat because the cat's gonna meow, you know, it's gonna find a way to get out or whatever, you know. But I think that I just came in my spirit today that I needed to say that we need to try to do something about, you know, for pets that we have to have insurance for. We have to make sure that they're taken care of. They have to have babies. I mean, even a bird. Bird has to have a babysitter, okay? That we need to try to get some kind of insurance and be able to take these animals off on our taxes, you know?
Okay. That's an interesting concept. Never thought about that before.
Yeah. If you never had a pet, you didn't have to spend all that money. It's expensive.
Yeah.
It's just like having a child.
Yeah.
And
about 6 months ago, we went to the pet store, and you know, my daughter's 2, and the guy at the pet store, we were looking at some dogs, and he was like, "If I were you, I would wait until she's potty trained." You know, because he said having a dog is like having like another
child, got to be
like
potty
a little
trained.
2-year-old. He said wait. He said I would wait until she got up maybe to about 5 or 6 years old, because you're gonna go through the same thing that you're going through with her, like in terms of where the dog's gonna sleep. You know, because she doesn't. Some nights she don't want to sleep in her bed. You know, some nights she wants you to hold her. You know, she's still going through potty training, and like sometimes she's finicky eating and whatnot. So he said, you know, the dog is gonna be like that when you first bring that dog home and whatnot. So he said you're gonna go through that same stuff. He said you don't want to be doing that with a toddler
at the same time
and a new dog. So we took that to heart, and you're confirming everything that that was told to us at that time. So
well, I'm glad that I am. You know, it's because the dog became that whole story was now the dog is my dog. Okay?
Yeah, of course he is.
You know, that wasn't about Paul being the dog. I think Paul got me the dog.
I think he did that on purpose.
Yeah, I think he did it on purpose because I was in the house.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess he thought that I needed another companion. You know, and so I know it was with love. It wasn't with malice. I know it was with love, and he just thought that I needed. But the dog yaps all the time. He barks at everything. Okay, so
So what do you do? Do you talk to the dog or with?
I talk to him, and sometimes I call him Bear. Okay. But I talk to him. His name is Sir Licio.
Okay.
And I talk to him. He on my lap, he wasn't following me around. I had to move downstairs with the problems that I'm having. I had to move downstairs, so that meant he's downstairs. And, Paul says that, you don't need to have him getting comfortable in that room. You know what I mean? Because your room is upstairs. Don't let him get comfortable. So I'm caged, he caged. I said, Dad, this is prison for both of us, okay? But, guys, we really need to try to band together and try to see whether or not we can talk to whomever we need to talk to about getting, being able to take a pet off. If you can show documentation of all the things that you're doing for your dog, that we should be able to take them off as a dependent, because they are dependent upon us. And I think that's something that we should do.
I think it would be difficult to do on a federal level, but maybe on a state level. I mean, there may be some, some movement to it, particularly in a state like Maryland, where, there are, avid dog lovers, in this state. So.
And they have dog
or pet lovers. I guess not just for dogs.
Well, pet lovers.
But pet lovers.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Not just because birds have to be taken care of if you go away. Cats have to be taken care of. No matter what kind of pet you have, it has to be taken care of. It's a pet. It's a family member. It has now become a family member. That's my whole point. It's not just a pet anymore. Now it's a family member. Because you name it, right? You got to feed it.
Yeah.
If you got to potty train it, you got to potty train it. You got to buy like stuff to potty train them with. You got to make sure that they have a cage. You got to make sure they have a car seat if you take them in your car.
Really?
Yeah, you should, especially little dogs. Okay.
Never thought about that.
A lot of people don't, but little dogs, yeah, because if you make a sudden stop, that dog's gonna slide, you know.
Never thought about that.
Yeah, so people, if you're taking them little dogs out, you need to have a car seat for them, okay? Because that you can really hurt that dog, and I don't think people realize that those dogs could slide. If you have to make an abrupt stop, you know, it shakes you a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if they slide off the seat, they could hurt themselves. You know. So yeah, they got strollers. They got,
Gotcha.
You know, whatever. So Donald, did you introduce yourself?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I just want to
But
make
one
sure.
thing that we need to do is,
Baysox.
yes.
It's the Baysox. I had pulled it up. Because I did promise the Baysox that I would make this at the top of our announcement so that you guys will know what's going on next week, because we tape. So what the guy did was, his name is Garrett. He sent me the information so that you would have it firsthand next Sunday, okay? And so what he sent me was a Bowie Baysox upcoming homestand. And it reads as such: the Bowie Baysox, the AA affiliate of the Baltimore Orioles, returned to Prince George's Stadium for a 3-game homestand beginning on Monday, July the 1st at 6:30 p.m. against the Richmond Flying Squirrels, who also is a AA affiliate of the San Francisco Giants, okay? The 3-game series goes from July the 1st through July the 3rd. Promotions include kids cheer free on Monday with the purchase of a full price box seat ticket. Tuesday is Military Appreciation Day night with a half price box seat ticket to those with proof of military service. So remember, if you're a military person, you have to make sure that you bring proof that you have served in the military. And I guess if you have your children and your children are yours, I guess if you take them something to show that they're a military child, you might be able to get it, for them as well. I don't know what kind of ID they have. Okay. But I would, if it's some kind of ID that you have for your children to show that they're a military child, I would make sure that I have that with me as well. He says that Wednesday is an Independence Day celebration with the biggest fireworks show of the season. Baysox game worn on 4th of July last year jerseys will be auctioned off to benefit Promised Land Farm, okay? Ticket plans, group offers, and single game tickets are on sale for the 2024 season. And for more information, because I cannot give you prices, okay? For more information, you can call 301-805-6000 or visit us online at the Baysox, which is spelled BAYSOX.com. Stay up to date with the latest team news and promotional info by following the Baysox on Facebook, Instagram, and X, which used to be Twitter, right? Mr. Garrett, and his last name is spelled Kwok. He's a broadcasting and public relationships assistant Bowie Baysox at Bowie's Baysox. You can call him if you want more information on 925 as well, and tell him Paula sent you. You saw him on my show. You heard about you on my show. Okay, let's talk with Paula. Okay. And his number is 925-878-1623. His email address is G as in George, K as in Kite, W as in William, O as in Oprah, K as in Kite, at Baysox, BAYSOX, .com. Okay, it's not at, it's at Baysox.com. I'm sorry. So let me get that to you again. It's GKWOK at Baysox.com. And his name is Garrett, Gareth, and his last name is spelled KWOK. Okay, so please, we were talking about families.
Yes.
And having family night, so that's a good place that you can decide to go for in July. You don't have to go traveling. You don't have to go out the city. It's probably right around the corner from where you live. I would get my tickets in advance, okay? And they said that they're having the biggest fireworks show on July the 3rd.
Perfect time to go. Take your family, go have a couple of hot dogs, maybe some popcorn, and watch the fireworks, watch the game. And then 4th of July, you know, maybe
do
go and
your own thing.
do your own thing. Go spend some time with your friends and family.
And he will be here on our next show in July the 11th. July the 11th, he'll be here on our next show. Donald will be here too, so you get to meet Garrett in person. And he's a very nice guy. Everybody over there is very nice. I mean, I went over to the stadium. Terrence goes over there quite often. He goes down in the dugouts and everything. I went over there and I watched everybody. I watched him film, you know. They showed me where the big room was that I could go sit in if I wanted to, you know, with the other newscasters and stuff. And Garrett gave me a whole tour. And, you know, the people over there were very, very, very nice. And so I feel good that we're trying to give y'all as much information about Bowie so that if you don't want to travel, right, this season, for the summer, that there are things around here that you can do, and especially during
You were
holiday
talking about
days.
the pond. What was the name of it?
Allen Pond Park.
Okay.
They always have, like, during holidays and things, and they have shows during other times as well.
Okay.
At Allen Park. And they show you information well in enough times. I know the one that's next to the fire station outside, that sign is posted. It's different areas that they will have signs that are actually posted when there are events that are coming up, and you get more than enough time to figure out whether or not that you want to go. And they give you information on how you can find the information out about going to that particular event. We were talking about Juneteenth on our last show. That was on the Lady Nighthawk show. And we also talked about it on the Jeremiah Interdenominational Missionary Church show. So we're trying to make sure that we do all three of these shows, because I show my shows for a week. And the reason why I do that is because I know that each and every one of you work different times, because I did when I was working. You work different hours, you work different shifts. So you might not be able to get the information that you need during the time maybe that one show is, or you might not be able to get it on that day, but maybe you can catch it on the next day. I've been doing this for as long as I've been on here, for a week. I do it, and I run it for that purpose, because I know people work different hours, different shifts. You get your life just stops you. I mean, your favorite shows sometimes, you have to record them, right?
Yes.
Now, the thing about and you can always get it on Bowie TV. They took us off of TikTok, but you can still, you can get it on Bowie TV. But, you know, we're new at that, and we're trying to get as many people that will subscribe and look at our shows as possible, please, because that makes it so that anybody that lives in the United States of America that's able to get, your family I'm talking about, your family and friends that live across the country, you can always tell them that they can go out on Bowie TV and look on YouTube for your show, and they can see it, whereas it was limited before, and you couldn't see it just everywhere. I know that it will go down to some parts of Camp Springs, okay? Because I've had people tell me that. And it's another place that people have told me that they've seen it, you know, as well. I'm not sure whether it was Howard County or where it was, but the show channel, because we on Verizon, it's 11, and Comcast is 77. But Bowie TV has made it possible for us now that my sister in Florida can see the shows that we do. Ross, we were talking about him the last time that he was here, because Ross actually takes his shows that he's been on and he puts them on the outside of his office.
Yeah, he plays them on the TV.
He plays them on the TV.
On the television, it's hanging up right outside of, you know, right in the reception area of his office. Yeah.
And so that's free advertisement for us.
Yeah. So if like a new client is coming in, he'll have that video playing of him talking about relevant events and things, you know, that he's involved in as a housing counselor and whatnot. So yeah.
And so, and Mr. Bell himself, he's a YouTube subscriber himself, okay? And we were telling him last time, maybe you need to do what Ross is doing and put it outside in your office as well. But we need your help to make, because we just started this. We are new with YouTube, okay? Bowie TV is new with YouTube, so we need you to help us build up our numbers. We have hit over 1,000. I don't know what the numbers are, but I know that we hit over 1,000 a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, okay? But I need you to watch my shows as well, so we can bring those numbers up, okay? So everybody, we need for you to watch Bowie YouTube, and we need you to watch Verizon, and we need you to watch Comcast if that's your use. So remember, Comcast is 77, Verizon is channel 11, okay? We do not want our viewership to go down on any of those media types, okay? Because that keeps us on the air and it keeps you informed, okay? And it keeps you in contact with your family, and when you can't find nothing else on television, you know that you're gonna get important information from us, okay? From Jeremiah, Let's Talk with Paula, or Lady Nighthawk. Because we always try to bring you important information that's very relevant to you. We just got through talking about the property tax thing with people. The financial aid situation was getting ready to come to an end. And I saw on television the other night where Congress is trying to stop their forgiveness program. They're trying to stop that again. Remember, they stopped it before. And now they're trying to stop half the money that he wants to give away for the forgiveness program, that they're trying to stop it. That was on the news last night. Why?
Yeah, and there's something in the Supreme Court that's pending right now. I don't know if a decision has already come out yet, but apparently some of the states have challenged the president's ability or his standing to forgive, student loans, like government
That's
federal
what I'm talking
loans.
about. Yeah. Why? Why is that? Why would you want to do that? See, that was a promise that he made that he was going to do on the campaign trail. And they stopped it at first. And they said, no, no, no. And then they came back and they said, okay. And then they're trying to come back again and say he can't give out all the money that he was going to give out. And these people have already gotten letters, right, saying that their loans were going to be, they fit the criteria for the forgiveness loan. And now they don't know whether or not, again, on whether or not they'll be able to get it. I would suggest that you go out there to the studentloan.gov.
Studentaid.gov?
Studentaid.gov. And I would go out there and look and see what the new information is out there for you. So if you were one of the ones that have applied for it, that you could go back and find out whether or not the letter that you have is bogus, okay? Because that's what happened to me the first time. I got a letter saying that I qualified, and then the news told me that the program was cut, So go out there to studentaid.gov.
Studentaid.gov.
And look for the loan forgiveness program, Biden's loan forgiveness program, okay? So you can see where you stand. That's very important for you to do. Also, I hope that you got all your property tax squared away. I want to make sure that you got all your water bills squared away, okay? You can make arrangements for your water bills, your electricity, you make arrangements for those, because it's hot now. We've had the hottest water we ever had weather, and we don't want your utilities to be turned off. So if you can't.
And you provided some good information about some nonprofits that are helping people with those utility bills at one point in time. You talked about some at one point in time.
Okay, so now in July, it won't be until July, that the Home Assistance Program over there in PG County, I can't think of the street right now, but if you call the Home Assistance Program, Home Energy Assistance Program for PG County, you can try to get some help for your electric bill, because that's what's coming up next. They just finished with the gas bills, okay? It won't start until July the 1st. So,
that's right around the corner.
And the other part of that is you have to have a cutoff notice.
Gotcha.
If you have a cutoff notice, you'd be first in line, okay? So they want you with your mortgage, they want you with your income, and they want you with, what else? What did I say? Cutoff notice, and how many people in the house. And if it's more than just you, done. We done.